It's seems like it's been a long time since we played, but I know our guys are really excited about getting back out there. It's really had a lot of energy this week. It's good to see working hard. Looking at Auburn, I've said this before, just starts with their quarterback on offense, just really good athlete. Can beat you with his arm, can beat you with his feet. Has really good feel of what they're doing offensively. Good receivers, good skill players. Score a lot of points, play fast. Again, defensively, kind of the same thing. When you look at what they've done defensively over the years. They had to replace a lot of guys from last year's team, but have really kind of rallied together and continue to improve every week. And then special teams, feel like they give probably the most diverse looks that we've seen out of anybody this season. So obviously it'll be a tremendous challenge for us on the road. It's a great opportunity for our football team and our football program, and our guys are excited about going and playing.
Questions? We'll start with Austin Price.
Coach, obviously you remember Tank Bigsby from when you recruited him last year, but what's he do well, and what will you guys have to guard against with his game?
Well, it's interesting. I was watching tape this morning, and we recruited Tank out of high school, and I see where he got the name Tank. Guys bounce off of him. Probably one of the more physical runners in our conference. He makes a lot of guys miss, runs through contact, lots of yards after contact, returns on the kickoff return team. He's the returner, so he's got really good hands, but playing really well for a young guy.
All right, questions. We'll go to Trey Wallace, then Gustavo.
Hey, Jeremy, would you say Jared Garantano is getting near 100%? And how do you feel like he's played over the last couple of days of practice?
Yeah, I mean, Jared is back. I think he's had a good couple of days here, just getting back into the groove, so to speak. So I thought our whole offense can see him making some strides there, which it's good to see. Seems to be more confidence on that side of the ball with practice this week. So I'll be anxious to see him play on Saturday.
Gustavo.
Coach, which unit of the team do you feel more happy, or you more felt like you was the better improvement in this 2 weeks they have to practice?
Which part of the team you think's improved the most?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yeah.
Well, I see a lot of improvement out of a lot of our guys. I really probably the guys that have made the most strides are our younger guys, just because they had the furthest to go, and that's normal. But with the opportunities that they've had at practice, you continue to see guys flash with ability and starting to understand the work ethic that it takes every day to kind of develop the right habits. So it's good to see.
And Coach, I have a special question for you from another UT coach. Let's see if you can hear it.
Gustavo, next time you are in a Jeremy Pruitt press conference, I want you to ask him what he thinks of that women's soccer team's SEC championship.
Yeah, well, Coach Pansky asked me to ask you about his team.
Hey, I tell you what, I follow all the sports here, and it's always exciting to see when we bring a championship here. And, I see these young ladies work out here in the indoor during the summer and during practice time, sharing facilities here, and they work extremely hard. See them during the off season. So I can tell you they earned it.
I will go to Wes Rucker, then Patrick Brown.
Jeremy, when you look at your tight end position, how much development are you seeing there from those guys, and how much more can you get from those guys down the stretch, maybe as blockers, pass catchers, all that stuff?
Well, it's a position that we've lost a few guys. Obviously, Austin Pope has played a lot of football, and really the first two games we used Riley Locklear a lot in the tight end position. So losing him after the Missouri game, it's added to Jacob and Princeton, and these guys continue to improve. We need to get them more involved in the throw game, but they continue to to me, you can see the getting more seasoned. Obviously, they've not played a lot of ball here, but this year they've got an opportunity, and every week they continue to improve at that position.
Patrick.
Jeremy, you mentioned some young guys improving a few weeks ago. I think you said Key Lawrence had been working at the star position. Has he continued to work there, I guess, since it was the first open date, and kind of how has he progressed at that position for you guys?
Yeah, it's one of the probably with all of our positions on defense, you're involved in the run fits. When you play man-to-man, you have to guard probably the best receivers on the other team. You've got to be a good blitzer. We ask a lot out of that position. It's a spot to where there's lots of change of strength motions from the other team, so the multiples change as the looks differ there. But he continues to pick things up really fast. He's got good ball skills. He's a big kid and that has instinct. So he continues to work hard and improves every day.
Ben McKee, then Matthew Ray.
Coach, what did you think of Jabari Small in that number 2 back role against Arkansas when he filled in for Ty Chandler? And how have you seen D. Beckwith and T. Hodge improve over the last 2 weeks?
Jabari, to me, has done a really nice job the entire season. If you look at his touches, his yards after contact, making people miss, he's done a really nice job with that. He continues to play on our special teams. He picks things up really fast, so he's not going to do anything but continue to improve and get better. T. Hodge and D both obviously had issues back during the summer with injuries that really kind of put them behind, but they've stayed positive. They've worked hard to get healthy. Right now, both of them are bouncing back and forth from the scout team to the ones and twos. They're bigger backs that have a little thump to them. So, I noticed when they run against the defense over there, when those guys go to thud them up, you can tell they're heavy. So they're guys that will continue to improve the more reps that they get.
Matt.
Hey, Coach, Greg Emerson was a guy that started 9 games for you guys last fall and appeared in, I think, every contest. Has he been limited, like due to contact tracing and stuff like that? Or why have we not seen him as much this fall, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. So, listen, there's this whole pandemic has affected all of us differently, right? And I just, for some reason, Greg was in a little bit of kind of a funk or whatever. He didn't have a really great fall camp and just kind of jump starting and getting him going. But really over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've seen a guy that's really worked hard every day at practice to be a good football player. And he knows it, he sees it. So, kind of, it looks like he's kind of back to his old self a little bit. So that's good to see. He's walking around with a smile on his face. So I'm glad to see that.
Thank you.
Eric Kane.
Hey, Jeremy, you said earlier this week that you're about as healthy as you've been in quite some time. So for guys like Alontae Taylor, Jameer Johnson, Ty Chandler, how have they progressed over the last 2 weeks, and should they be available to play on Saturday?
Well, they definitely have started back into the practice routine. So it's looking promising. So hopefully over the next 2 or 3 days, they can continue to improve and get closer to 100%.
David Oben.
Jeremy, they just announced they are extending the dead period for recruiting through April 15th. I'm just wondering, what's kind of your message to recruits right now when they can't see anyone head-to-head or face-to-face, and what does that kind of look like in terms of how you kind of help them make their decision and recruit, and just that whole process when you can't see a guy face-to-face for over a year now?
Yeah, it's I think everybody understands the reason why. And, it's very unfortunate, but, we're trying to adapt. It's unfortunate for the recruits, really, especially for the ones for this year. Lots of them didn't even get to take trips, or maybe they some of them may not have ever been to a college campus, and they've got to decide where they want to go to school. And, it's, to me, we've worked hard to try to build relationships and kind of take our campus in Knoxville to them wherever they're at, and the people that kind of are involved with our players, throughout our program, from Joe Scoggins and his crew in academics, to Rachel Feaster and nutrition, to Geronimo and Dr. Klink with our athletic training, our player development guys, Patrick Abernathy, Kerry Stevenson, Kevin Simon, our staff, our recruiting staff. So there's a lot of people here at the university that help our student athletes, on the field, off the field, and throughout life. I mean, we've really used Ashley Smith. She's helped launch our V-Flight program for, it's really a program that's going to help launch our players' career beyond football. So something that we're really proud of, that we've really got started. So there's lots of really good people here that are involved in recruiting, and we've worked hard to do it all the way. When you start talking about our administration, athletic administration, our academic administration, people across campus, they've been very willing to help, and we couldn't ask for any better support.
Any other questions? All right, thank y'all.